Okay, so today we're going to go over how to run the tasks for the MBB study step by step. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is open the MBB study folder, go to protocols, checklists, and open the child session checklist so I can see all the different tasks that we're going to run. So I'm just going to kind of leave this up as I go through all of the different tasks. So the tasks start here at memory intrusion. And so what you're going to do on the computer in the Bears Den is you're going to find the folder that's like right here that says wave 1 and that's like all the tasks for wave 1. So I'm just going to open them on here for now, but they'll be on the desktop on that computer. And so you're going to open memory intrusion. And then there are two, as you can see here, there's two different types of counterbalance. So the first part is going to be whether it's A or B, and the second part is going to be whether it's congruent or incongruent. So then you're going to, it will be written here based on the participant that you are running. So then you're going to, and actually let me just show you how to find that if you aren't sure. So for that you'll go into studies, protocols, and counterbalance. And for every participant there's already a set counterbalance. So this would be A incongruent, for example. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the tasks. And I'm just going to run, so the file that you're going to run is the .sci.exp file. That is the CyclePy builder file that you're going to run for this task. So then it launches. And you can close this. I'm going to just minimize everything else right now. So then to start the task, you're just gonna click this, and you wanna make sure the physio is started before you start the behavioral task. And once it's going, you're just gonna click this green running guy. You're gonna wait for it, sometimes it takes a second. Then you're gonna enter the participant number. So I'm just gonna press 999 for this example. And then here is the part where it says whether or not you're running physio. So it defaults to 1, so most of the time you're just gonna leave that. Since I'm running this on my laptop for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put 0, which means that it's not connected to the physio equipment, so that the task will run. So then I click OK. And then I'm here on the task. And so for this one, it actually has this popcorn screen that comes up. So when that comes up, what you're going to do is you're going to minimize this. You're going to go, and in the Bears Den, these are going to be on the desktop. You're going to go into movies, and then you're going to check before you start this what the movie order is. So whether it's neutral, sad, or scary, neutral will always be in the middle. So for example, if this one was starting with sad, I'm going to open this, and I'm going to make sure that the popcorn screen is on the screen when I start the movie. And then I'm just going to click play. Let that run all the way through for the participant. And then when they're done, I'm going to go back to this, click on it, and press space. And then they'll do their response. So they'll click on whatever face. Then they'll listen to 2 different lists of words.
Unhappy, sorrow, depression, cry, upset, tears, down, loss, low, distress.
Okay, so after they listen to the list of words, you're going to have them count backwards from 25. If they're too young to do that, they can just count forwards. It's just to get rid of like a little distraction before they do the recall. Then they're going to tell you all the words that they can remember from that list, and you're going to record them on the audio recorder as they're doing that. Okay,
Pleasant.
so then that just continues for 2 more trials because you do the neutral and the other version of the movie. Then you do 2 lists after each movie. And so you're just basically following along the task and you're clicking space to progress to the next part, letting the kids answer it, and then when it's done, it will just quit automatically and hopefully not freeze like it's doing right now. Okay, so that's basically the memory intrusion task. So the next task that they're going to do is the Halloween training. So for that, you're going to go into the task folder that's on the desktop. And you're going to go to Halloween. Then there's 2 parts to this one, the test and the training, and the training always comes first. This one also has a counterbalance, so that's either going to be day or night. And you're always going to run this .sci.exp file. So if they did day, I'm going to open that one. Close that. Same thing for this one. And I'm just going to show you what happens if I leave the 1 there. So basically it just won't run because it's not connected to this Physio port. So that just means that if you get that error, that you need to make sure you put 0 in the Physio line. Okay, so for this one, it pops up full screen because we don't need to access the other folders for the movies. So the first one's kind of a weird one because it won't be full screen. This one comes full screen, and you just, the little S in the corner means that you're just going to press space to advance. And in this one, the kids just see a house with a different candy or a toy in each corner. And then that's pretty much it. They just watch that one. Okay, so after Halloween, the next one they're going to do is characters. So you're going to open that one. And it's called Monsters in the folder. And then you're going to open the .sci.exp file. And for this one, there's a few things that you need to enter. So you need to enter their age, because if they're 6 to 9, it will only do 3 rounds, and if they're older than that, it will do 5. So you're just going to enter their age. Oops, no, I forgot to do my own advice of entering 0 for the Physio. So for this one, you're just going to read these instructions, press space to advance, and then you're just going to let them press either of the arrow keys to select the character that they think is right. Okay, so the next one after characters is Halloween test. So you're going to go back to that Halloween folder and go to the test folder. And then you just want to make sure that the counterbalance is the same as the training, which is the same as what's on the sheet. Okay, so for this one, there's 2 parts. There is, so you're going to read these instructions to them out loud. Then they're going to choose whether they saw this while they were trick-or-treating, and if they're younger, you can press the buttons for them and have them respond. So then after all these, there's going to be a part that asks you where in the picture was the item, and so it will have 1, 2, 3, and 4 quadrants, and you can respond for them if they want. And yeah, then that's the end of that. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so then after Halloween test, you're going to run the first run of the discrimination task. Okay, so this one's a little bit different because it's not a sci.x file. So you're going to go into the 3 because this is all part of one task: discrimination, conditioning, and extinction. And the first part of it is discrimination. So you're going to go into that. These are going to be .py Python files because this wasn't made in the builder. So you're going to open with CyclePy, right click, and then you're just going to click the running guy. And there's no physio for this one, so if the participant is tired of keeping their hands still, they can take a short break from that for this task. And you're going to enter the run number. So this is just the counterbalance, whether it's vertical or horizontal, but that's automatically going to be there for you, so you don't need to worry about that. This is what run it is. So since this is the first time I'm doing this, and you're going to do it 3 times, you're going to enter the number that it is. So this is the first time. Okay, so you're going to read these instructions, and I'm just going to explain this task a little bit because sometimes the kids have a little trouble understanding what they're supposed to do. So one of the lines is going to be flat, and the other is going to be tilted, and so their job is to tell us which one is more tilted. So that's it can either be horizontal or vertical, but we want them to tell us which one is less straight. So whichever one is not the straight one is the one we want them to tell us. And they're going to use 1 and 2, and you can also press this for them. So like we'll do an example. So that one first or second. So which one was more tilted? The first one. So I'm going to press 1. Okay, and then you ask them if they're ready, and then you press it again, and you say first or second. So the first one was more tilted, so I'm going to press 1. And you just keep going like that. And I find it's helpful if you say first or second. First, I think, again. To just make it clear to them which one is which. Okay, so then that one automatically will end after they reach the just noticeable difference threshold. Okay, so for discrimination, because it's a Python file, not an experiment file, you actually have to press Apple Shift Escape if you want to escape from that one. Okay, so then the next one you're going to do, oh, and I forgot to say that if it has this little headphone diagram, you want to make sure that they have, that means that the task has sound, so you want to make sure that they have the headphones on. And then this means you're going to record them. So for that memory intrusion task, the first one that I told you, you're going to record the words that they remember. For these, there's no recording, but there is sound. So conditioning. And again, make sure that it is the version. So for this one also, there's, as you can see, there's a headphone volume blank. So the first thing you're gonna do is firstly, take the headphones off of them and make sure that the volume isn't like all the way up to the very like highest volume. Then you're gonna open this. And you are just going to play it, and it's a very bad sound, but I'm going to play it. And basically what you want to do is measure, my laptop's a new laptop, so it's not going to do it, but you're going to adjust the volume for the kid, and you want it to be loud and uncomfortable, but not painful. So you're going to ask them to tell you the highest volume that it can be, being loud and uncomfortable but not painful, and then you're going to record. It comes up in these little blocks here, and you're going to just record the numbers. So if it's on 3 blocks, you're going to put 3 there. I think it goes up to like 10 or something. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to do when you're running this task. Then you're going to run the version that is their counterbalancing. And for this one, they just watch the lines. until the end when there's one question about which line was followed by the sound. Okay, so after that one, they're going to do the discrimination task one more time. And I'm not going to go over that again because we already did it, but you're just going to enter 2 instead of 1 for that. Okay, then they're going to take a short break where they don't have any food, but they have their height, hair, and weight and saliva samples done. So after that's done, you're going to come back into the room and you're going to do MEM-GEN, memory generalization. And this one also you need to record because there's a part where they tell you what they remembered. So let's go to that one. So this one also has 2 parts. So the first one's going to be the training. And there's 2 versions for this, also A and B. So you're going to open that. And you're going to read these instructions. And then you're going to tell them that when they see this red triangle, they need to press the space bar to make sure they're paying attention. You don't have to tell them to make sure they're paying attention, but that's what it's for. Okay, and then they'll get a short break in the middle. Okay, so basically they just watch these photos and they try to remember as many as they can. And during the break, you just ask them to describe all the pictures they can remember. And so they do this twice. Okay, so after MEM-GEN training, you're going to do extinction. So you're going to go back here. You're going to run extinction. It's basically the same as the conditioning, but it doesn't have any sound. But they need to wear the headphones so that they can expect that there's going to be a sound. And so you just run this. It's basically the same, so I'm not going to go through that, but they just need to watch the lines. Okay, then after that, they're going to do discrimination run 3 one more time that we already went over. So the same thing for that. Then after that, you're going to do the last task, which is the memory generalization test. For this one, there's no recorder, no sound, so they're just going to, and this is the immediate version because we also have one that is given to them at a delay, at a 1-week delay. Okay, so you're going to read them these instructions, take them through it, and they're just going to tell you if they saw this picture, and we only want them to tell us if it's the exact same picture because some will be similar, but we only want to know, yes, if it's the exact same picture that they just saw before. And then they say how sure they are. And then it goes through like that, and that is the end of this task. Okay, so that's the end of all the tasks. Hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.